Hi guys, Darth Deuces here, back with our Star Wars Vintage Collection action figure review. Taking a look today at the relatively recently released Star Wars Battlefront 2 gaming grades, Lando Calrissian. Yeah, a figure that wasn't super high on my priority list. I definitely wanted to pick it up at some point, but I didn't bother pre-ordering it. I just kind of chalked it down to I'll pick it up if I see it in stores, because I figured I'd probably find this one in stores. Lando figures don't sell incredibly quickly. And yeah, I went to the GameStop today. I saw it there, and there wasn't much else to buy, so I figured I'd pick them up. And yeah, so this is based on how Lando looks on one of the skins that you can use in Battlefront 2. However, it is also how Lando looked at the very end of the Solo: A Star Wars Story movie. So this is the Donald Glover portrayed Lando, and I really liked Donald Glover as Lando Calrissian. I think he did a really good job. I think he's one of the best parts of that movie, honestly. So I really enjoyed him as that part, and I think there's either rumored or confirmed there's a Lando series coming. I don't know if Donald Glover's returning for that or not. I hope he is. I think he's the best choice for that, so I'm looking forward to that if that does come to fruition. But yeah, I never got the original Vintage Collection release. They did do a Solo: A Star Wars Story Vintage Collection release of Lando and just the normal clothes that he wears throughout most of the movie. As he only wears this for like the last 2 minutes in the movie or something like that when they're on that planet playing Sabak, or I think it was Sabak. But yeah, taking a quick look at the packaging, ignore the GameStop sticker there on the corner. We do have the Battlefront 2 plate there, Lando Calrissian Star Wars Battlefront 2. The figure in the packaging, a really nice image of the Donald Glover Lando there, kind of CG rendered to kind of look realistic, but I do recognize the background as one of the maps that you can play in the game. I don't remember what planet it is, but yeah, really nice looking artwork on the card. I really do actually like how this guy looks on the card. On the back, you don't really have anything except gaming grades, and then he was technically a release alongside the Shea Vizsla re-release / upgrade, which I have reviewed on the channel, so check a look at my channel if you want to take a look at that. But yeah, not too much to say, so I'm going to crack this guy open and we'll take a closer look. Now I got Lando out of the packaging, and this is a pretty cool figure. Maybe nothing too exciting, the Lando figure is only going to be so exciting, but I think this is definitely kind of the coolest looking Lando that I have in the collection so far, aside from maybe the Black Series 6-inch one. I do have the Solo Black Series 6-inch Lando, but yeah, pretty cool. So like I said, I believe this is a straight up repaint of the previous Solo Star Wars Vintage Collection Lando figure they made a few years back. That was, I believe, before face print, so this one does have the face print. I'm also not 100% sure. I want to say that the first release of this figure, or this mold, didn't have a soft goods cape. It had a plastic cape, but I could be wrong. I didn't do my research prior to this video. I didn't really care enough, if I'm being honest. I might take a look after, but yeah, I think the cape might be new as well. But aside from that, it's all pretty much just repainted. But taking a look, and hopefully focusing, it looks how it's supposed to. It looks like Lando. I think the head sculpt and face print is pretty good for the most part. I don't think it's 100% nailed the likeness. I know I will say the older Black Series figure definitely looked a lot better. But I think this is not too bad, especially at this scale. I think it's fine. He does have this little scarf piece, red with some white little design details on it. You can take that off if you want. It's just slung around his collar there. And like I said, he does have the cape, and the cape's actually made of a really interesting material. It's kind of thicker, and I don't want to say felt like. I don't really know how to describe the feeling of this fabric. It is thicker though, you can't see through it. You get some Darth Vader figures and the fabric's pretty thin, so you can kind of see through it a bit. You can't see through this at all. It's white on the back, and you got blue on the inside, which I think looks pretty nice. I do like that it's soft goods because then it doesn't hinder articulation. You can get them into action poses without having to take off the cape or something like that. The shirt's really nice as well with the bright yellow and all these little design things on it. I think look really cool. I've always kind of thought it kind of looks like a vacation shirt or something, so I kind of like the look of that. And he's got the bright white kind of dress pants, which I think look good. Nothing too much to talk about because they're just straight up white. His belt here has a couple of silver buckles. Got the holster, another silver buckle there. A little bit of paint bleed, or yellow paint bleed, onto the white there on the back, but luckily You'll never really see that. Sculpt detail is pretty nice. White shoes, and then you got brown on the bottom. But not too much to talk about. It's not exactly the most exciting figure in the world, but it's definitely a flashy looking one. I think it looks pretty cool for what it is. In terms of articulation, this is where it shows how it's a bit of an older vintage collection figure, but still pretty decently articulated. You have a dumbbell joint in the neck, so you get pretty good down, a decent amount of up, pivot, and then rotation. Ball hinges in the shoulders, which move about that far, which is pretty good, and you can rotate them. Single hinge elbows move a little bit past 90, which is nice. Swivels at the wrists as well as hinges. This one goes up and down, which is good for blaster poses. This one goes in and out, and it's just a normal kind of grip hand. He has a ball jointed torso, which doesn't crunch forward a ton. Goes back just a little bit, rotation and pivot. Old style ball hinge hips. He doesn't have the new ones, but he does have the old ones. He still can get the legs out about that far. And then to kick them forward, you gotta rotate it, then kick it forward, and it'll kick out pretty decently. Swivel cuts at the thigh there. Single hinge at the knee, which moves about 90. And then single hinges in the ankle, which moves up, down, and then no pivot, because this is back during when pivots still weren't really a norm for articulation for vintage collection figures back then. But still pretty decently articulated. I mean, I don't plan to do anything too crazy pose-wise with this guy. I'm just going to have him kind of looking cool. But yeah, pretty good. I can't complain too much. In terms of accessories, he doesn't come with much. The cape, if you really want to count that, you can probably remove it if you pop off the head, I'm sure. It'll just come off if you pop off the head if you wanted to do that. It does come with this pistol, though, which is molded in silver and then has a little bit of black paint for some detail. Cool pistol enough, it's the pistol he uses in the movie. He can't grip that in his hand. Put his finger through the trigger finger, kind of. And then he can hold that. I think that looked good. Lando with his gun. And then you can also store it in his holster. Just slips in like so. You can probably put that through yeah. Slips in, it's secure, it's not going to go anywhere, and looks pretty good on his hip as well. And then that's pretty much it. Like I said, pretty simple release, nothing too exciting or crazy going on. And in terms of comparisons, I don't really have anything too much to compare him with. I will compare him, however, to the new or newer Cloud City Lando that came out end of last year, around the end of last year maybe. I honestly can't remember when that wave came out. I feel like I didn't get this figure till the beginning of this year, but yeah, maybe last year was its release. And you can see it look pretty cool together. Natural succession, older, younger, kind of cool. And they're both kind of similar figures in the way they're constructed and sculpted. You can kind of see how this look was kind of inspired by this, while still doing something different, which is kind of neat. But yeah, overall, very cool Lando figure. I'd honestly say it's one of the cooler looking Lando figures that you can get out there. Is it essential for your collection? No. It's just a cool look for him that either you play as in the game or that you liked from the very end of Solo: A Star Wars Story. I don't think it's an essential piece of your collection. If you don't care to have this version of Lando, it's super easily skippable. You're not missing out on anything. However, if you're a fan of Donald Glover's portrayal of Lando Calrissian, like I am, and also just like this look for Lando, I was a fan of this look that we saw very briefly in the movie, then yeah, I definitely would recommend picking it up. I think it's a cool figure. It doesn't do anything blatantly wrong. Just a nice, strong, good release for people who want this version of the character. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know what you think down in the comments below, and I'll see you all in the next video. May the Force be with you.